Visit us online at burningrubberradio.com for recipes from the NASCAR chef, John Dix, and more great content.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what, that dang old internet, man, you just go on there and point and click, 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 click. It's real easy, man.
Now back to more Burning Rubber Radio.
Disqualifications, Rex. It's the typical Talladega weekend.
Yeah, it is.
And also a potential unique idea by one Andrew DeLay that we'll get into here in just a little bit, and as far as NASCAR marketing could very well be concerned. So we're gonna see what's coming out of Andy's smoke-filled brain this morning over here on Burning Rubber Radio. Like, trust me, folks, every time he's thinking, you can see the steam coming out of his ears like a tea kettle. But Talladega this past weekend, Andy, and whew, what a crazy weekend it was. ARCA was there, Cup was there, Xfinity was there. Lawless Allen gets himself the win in the 20-some-odd Talladega field for the ARCA Menard Series, and our good friend finished 11th overall this weekend as well.
Yeah, in the ARCA race, that's Patrick Staropoli. He was out there, and Joey Coulter and I were both sitting there texting each other during the race.
You
all
were like
excited because
I was going to say, you were like giddy little
man.
schoolgirls, like, oh my God, he's doing it. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Patrick was running up in third, but, he's not the story of the weekend. ARCA, not the Cup Series, not the Xfinity Series, but the ARCA Series, for me, is the whole story of the weekend. And let me tell you a little bit about this, folks, of why I think it's such a big deal. Garrett Mitchell, everyone knows as Cleetus McFarland, ran in this race, in the ARCA Series race. He got more coverage this weekend than anybody did in the Cup Series race and the Xfinity Series race. And why do I say that? Because I think that we're seeing a turning point in marketing as far as stock car racing goes. If you get back into the 90s and to the early 2000s, if you went into a grocery store, you couldn't turn a corner without running over some, driver's cutout that was hawking some type of stuff.
Right.
And, that totally is gone nowadays. You don't see that. NASCAR, really, their marketing has gone quiet as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things that I'm saying here is that Cleetus McFarland is changing all that. He goes to Talladega in a Winnebago that he spray painted an American flag on with all his crew. He gets to Talladega, hangs out with Greg Biffle, who is his crew chief for the race, is what he calls
Which
it
was
anyway.
cool as hell.
Oh, yeah. And then, of course, he's up there running the Dale truck with Dale Earnhardt Jr. Does he put his Winnebago in the driver's lot? No. He's out there on Talladega Avenue with all the fans camping with Greg Biffle. And then, of course, I saw that Harvick was out there having a beer with them, and they're all mingling with the crowd. And the big thing is, folks, is Garrett doesn't do anything as far as on national television, a show on ESPN,
Right.
None of that. It is all social media based. And I think that NASCAR has to see this. What happened this weekend with Cleetus McFarland, Garrett Mitchell at ARCA, their event was the number one event in my eyes, the biggest show, simply because of him.
Yeah. I would 100% have to agree with that. And, I mean, you look at we haven't gotten the numbers yet as far as what the broadcast pulled on FS1 over the weekend, but I would not be surprised, Andy, if not only just from a fan perspective, but from those who tuned in, knowing that Cleetus was going to be there at the race, I would not be surprised if ARCA actually broke 1 million this weekend.
Easily. And then to top it off, when Cleetus was up there, he went up the Dragon 129, which is a curvy mountain road. You may know it, up there in North Carolina.
Yeah.
And he was doing all of this stuff on the side. If NASCAR cannot see the value in his marketing or his type of marketing, not just him, they're blind. So, and also, folks, I'll end it on this, as you can read more about this on Seriously Fast Motorsports this coming week, as that's going to be the topic of my article there.
Oh, very cool. All right, so seriouslyfastmotorsports.com and also burningrubberradio.com. Make sure you go check out the article.
No, it isn't burningrubberradio.com.
Or, yeah, boy, I was the one that made that change. You would think I'd remember that. BRRTV.net. There we go.
See, for Floyd Updegrove over at the Land of NASCAR Outcast, I'm smacking him like I promised that I would do, Floyd.
Floyd, you're an asshole. But we have got to get on to some other interesting news of the weekend here. Not just ARCA. We had a little bit of everything. Xfinity race was up there, Andy. And Austin Hill was officially declared the winner after what was deemed the last lap melee at Talladega this past weekend here. He was declared the winner after the field was frozen following a last lap crash involving Jesse Love and Connor Zilisch. And Hill, Jeb Burton, and Jesse Love were 3 wide when the yellow flag waved when race leader Zilisch hit the wall after contact from Love at the front of the field. So Austin Hill gets yet another notch in the belt for 2025.
Super Speedway maniac, that kid is.
Yeah, he is. But Zilisch put up a hell of a fight, though, in that race. There was no doubt about that.
No, Connor Zilisch, man, he's the up-and-coming thing, so.
Mm-hmm. And then Austin Cindric in the Cup Series side of things here, a last lap pass provided exactly the type of, not controversy, what's the word I'm looking for? It provided the right amount of fire.
Teammates getting pissed off at each other?
Yeah, pretty much. But Austin Cindric's last lap pass provided exactly the sort of Talladega Superspeedway thrills and spills that NASCAR fans have come to expect at the sport's biggest track, earning his 2022, earning the 2022 Daytona 500 win. Now Cindric has Talladega on his resume as well as far as wins. And Team Penske, this is their first trophy of the 2025 season, which is pretty cool.
Can you believe it?
And
I thought Logano won something, though, but maybe I'm...
No, but Logano was among... he won something all right yesterday in the form of a disqualification.
That's right.
In regards to an illegal spoiler on his car.
Poor guy. Oh, well. Sucks to be him.
Yeah, that's what happens when you cheat the car. But, oops, I didn't say that out loud, did I?
Yeah.
Oh, man. But yeah, Logano won something all right with that disqualification on Sunday in the NASCAR Cup Series race at Post Race Tech with an illegal spoiler. There was one other guy, too. I think it was Christopher Bell that got disqualified as well, too. I can't remember with the illegal spoiler. So, oh, well, stuff happens. Ain't much you can do about it. And but moving on here, though, in Andy, as we all know, the month of May, literally right around the corner. And we know what time that brings, and that being Memorial Day weekend and the triple threat of motorsports. Where we're going to have F1 for breakfast, IndyCar for lunch, and NASCAR for dinner.
That's right. And Larson was out last week practicing at Indy and smacked the wall on day 2, but hey, it's all right.
Hey, you know what? He managed to hit the wall, but from what we know of Larson, he was back at it again later in the week before he had to get down to Talladega, do his thing with the NASCAR Cup Series. And word has it, now this is just rumor right now, nothing's been confirmed, is that he's going to be out practicing again this week for the Indy 500. So we'll be sure to keep you up to date on anything we find out there in that regard. But also another thing with the month of May here, Andy, as we all know, it's All-Star Race time. And NASCAR, along with SMI, have announced details for this year's All-Star Race, which will be May 18th for the 3rd consecutive year at North Wilkesboro Speedway. And I love hearing that every time. Oh, it is so good. But this season's format will again feature 2 separate heat races to set the All-Star Race starting lineup and a 100-lap All-Star Open plus an extended, you ready for this one, 250-lap main event for the All-Star Race this season.
It's going to be great. Can't wait.
And in addition to a longer all-star race here, several other new aspects will debut, including a manufacturer showdown, a promoter's caution, modifications to open qualifying, and different pit crew challenge eligibility. And folks, if you want to read that article, I would recommend going over to speedsport.com. They've got a whole write-up when it comes to that specific, all the new modifications that are coming for the 2025 All-Star Race. Moving on here, and Rougemont, North Carolina, Andy. The Cars Tour was back at Orange County once again here, and we have ourselves a interesting winner here. Jared Fryer was Saturday's Cars Tour winner, and they call him the Flying Fryer in the Cars Tour.
All right, good. We need to get him on there, man. Anyone with the name Fryer at the end,
right?
You know, Kentucky Fried Chicken, Bojangles, brother.
I can't with you. I swear, I can't with you. You got food on the damn brain.
Always, baby.
Well, I mean, hey, we are the Fat Boys of Radio for a reason, right? Well, Fat Boys of podcasting now, and Fat Boys of YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah. And Facebook, baby. By the way, folks, if you're out there watching us on Facebook, even if you're watching us elsewhere or listening to us, go over to Facebook. That's where we hang out all the time. Please follow us on Facebook, Burning Rubber Radio. And it helps us out, and it doesn't cost you anything.
Nope. Likes and subscriptions on YouTube, Rumble, and Facebook are 100% free of charge.
Also, a big shout out to our Rumble crowd, man. We've had some folks over there watching on Rumble.
Yeah, exactly. The folks over on Rumble, we love you. And anytime, guys, feel free to put comments on the videos over there in Rumble. Let us know who you are, where you're from, and you never know, you might get a shout out right here on either the Gas and Go or the main show throughout the week. So, yeah, definitely.
Boy, you don't want to shout out when Wayne gets gassy. Let me tell you.
No,
he shouts at everyone.
No.
Come on, give me Muttley, man.
Oh, no, that was not the one. I was going to say, well, that's fitting, actually.
I've come to talk with you.
Hello, darkness, my old friend, because you're going to pass out from the gas.
Oh, my Lord. Anyway. Also, folks, head over to our second home that is on Facebook's Land of Nap, NAPCAR, NAPCAR Outcasts, and say hi to our Floyd Updegrode over there who pisses everyone off. And
literally.
Yeah. Tells you what he thinks, baby. That's right.
See, Floyd got the Muttley this week, so.
Oh, that's cool. He deserves it. Randy Caddenhead over there too, man.
Yeah,
he deserves a Muttley.
And but while we're talking news here, folks, we're going to take just a quick break and talk about one of our sponsors here, and that being Drive Refine.
I thought we were talking about the pillow place, man. I was going to sleep.
No, we don't take a nap till the end of the show. And,
okay.
Jesus Christ, Andy, good Lord, don't. I feel better now. But either way, folks, here, Drive Refine. You make sure you visit driverefine.com. Say hi to Joey Coulter and the entire crew over at the business there. And the thing about Drive Refine, the beautiful part is, it doesn't matter if you are a real racer. It doesn't matter if you're a simulation racer. Joey and the crew at Drive Refine, they will work with you to have better communication with your crew chief or just overall better performance on the racetrack. Fans, friends, whatever the case might be. Go over to driverefine.com and get signed up today. And again, folks, it is not just driver coaching. It's Drive Refine.
Drive Refine.
Close enough.
Close?
Yeah, close enough. And then, of course, Lightning Fast Transportation here out of Statesville, North Carolina. Folks, got to talk about them real quick here.
Heck yeah.
And Andy's proud that I'm shouting myself out. Like it's a fun thing. But Lightning Fast Transportation, folks, Statesville, North Carolina here. Everybody has seen how high rideshare prices have gotten in the last handful of years. If you've been on any of the major apps, I'm not going to mention names because it's not worth it to me. But if you've been on any of the major apps, you have seen how high prices have gotten for rideshare in all areas of the country, especially small towns. Statesville, Iredell County, lightning fast transportation. If you need a ride somewhere, whether it be school, work, home, a party, a sporting event, to the airport, whatever the case might be, lightning fast transportation can get you hooked up. Just give us a call at 704-657-4310, or shoot me a text at the same number, and we will see about getting you hooked up for a ride. And then, speaking of getting hooked up for a ride here, Andy, I don't know if you heard this news over the weekend, but Rodney Childers is no longer with Spire.
Yeah, Rodney Childers and Spire, they came out with this flowery statement about, we decided to change ways. No, it sounds like there was some motherfucking going down.
Yeah.
Behind the scene, putting it honestly and bluntly, excuse me, that doesn't happen. You don't take one of the best crew chiefs in NASCAR, run them for 9 races with an driver and Haley, and then fire your crew chief and say he's the problem.
Well,
no.
And that's the thing is, and don't get me wrong, Justin Haley has gotten better from a performance standpoint, but he's not on the same level that Rodney Childers needs to have a good team about him. And Haley still has a lot of learning to do. At least if they would have held on to Corey LaJoie, there's a very good chance that number 7 could have possibly already been in victory lane this season.
I totally agree. And that's one of the things I've heard unofficially is there was some grumbling about that too, that started the whole thing. But who knows? Maybe I'm totally wrong. Then there's someone out there that threw up a logo out there, the Rodney Childers Racing.
Actually, another version of an RCR would actually be, I could get behind it.
Yeah, so could Dodge.
Yeah, exactly. And hey, if Dodge does end up coming back into NASCAR for future seasons, I would love to see a Dodge Charger out there running around the racetrack.
Rodney Childers Racing. Yeah, I'd be. Well, we'll see, man.
Now, granted, again, folks, not to be confused with Richard Childress Racing, by the way. So Childers and Childress, definitely two totally different things. But moving on here, NHRA time, Andy, and they had the 4 Wide Nationals at zMax Dragway this past weekend, and you want to talk about a busy weekend. I had a lot of people that were coming into town, just staying in hotels that were coming back from the races. I didn't take anybody to the race or from the race, but definitely had a lot of folks that were staying in town that were traveling back from the race, getting ready to head home, that needed other ways to get around, shall we say. And,
okay.
But the 4 Wide Nationals this past weekend, zMax Dragway in Concord, North Carolina, and Tony Stewart did not get the history-making win this weekend, Andy. It's a shame. Sean Langdon, however, won the 1,000th Top Fuel race in NHRA history on Sunday at zMax Dragway, defeating Smoke.
Oh, wow. That's like, I have to put the brakes on something here. I'm sure that everyone else noticed that if you look down there below my picture, you will see it says the NASCAR chef, John Dick.
Oh, my God. Well, you know what?
I am not the NASCAR chef, John Dick. Yeah, Muttley. Oh, I figured I'd find something for you, Wayne. There you go.
Of all the things that could go wrong, have gone wrong this morning, folks. It's been an amazing time. So, yeah, that's not John Dix. John Dix is a whole lot uglier. And if John were here, he'd be like, I resemble that remark.
But yeah, he don't resemble me. That's all right. He'll be back this Friday for the gas and go, though.
That's what we've understood. He'll be taking a break from the grill and coming in and giving us a recipe for the weekend here. And actually heard from the motorsports enthusiast over the weekend too, Andy. And before we get much further into the NHRA stuff here, he picked Carson Hocevar to win the race at Talladega this past weekend, too. That was interesting.
Oh, wow. Talladega and Daytona and now Atlanta, who the heck knows who's going to win? They're so damn equal, these cars.
Yep, it's a literal crapshoot. So, I mean, hey, I give him credit for going with Hocevar. I thought that was pretty cool. But
Anyway, back to the NHRA.
Yeah, back to NHRA fun times here. And JFR gets another win this weekend in Funny Car. Austin Prock takes home the win there. Dallas Glenn in Pro Stock. And a unique name that we don't see pop up very often, Matt Smith wins Pro Stock Motorcycles.
What? Gage Herrera didn't win this weekend?
No, Herrera did not
Wow.
win this weekend. Yeah, it's a shocker, I know. And that was the 5th of 20 races in the 2025 Mission Foods Drag Racing Series season. And something else that was also notable from this past weekend here too, Andy. So Doug Coletta in Top Fuel set up a track ET, which is the elapsed time from start to finish at zMax Dragway on Friday during qualifications, taking the provisional number 1 qualifier, while Brittany Force made the fastest pass in Top Fuel history once again at the 15th annual American Rebel Light NHRA 4-Wide Nationals. And I'm looking here to find Doug's qualification time here. He went a zMax record 3.646 seconds at 333.74 miles per hour.
That's crazy. 3 seconds, 300 miles an hour. The acceleration, geez, gosh, man, this is nuts.
Well, here's where it gets even crazier. So Brittany Force now literally holds the top. I believe it's the officially now. Now I could be wrong. I could be off by like 1 or 2, so don't hold me to this. But she holds close to the top 10 records by herself as far as the top speed when it comes to Top Fuel in the NHRA. Force, meanwhile, win an incredible. Are you ready for this one, Andy? 341.58 miles per hour with a run of 3.667 seconds.
341. Oh my gosh, almost halfway to 400 miles. Oh, that's nuts.
Yep, and the way the articles wrote up here, she posted the first 340 mile plus per hour run in Top Fuel history and powering past her own previous speed record of 338.94 miles per hour, which was set at Pomona during her championship season in 2022.
Wow. Big hats off.
And so it's crazy to me to think how fast these cars are getting. And because if I'm not mistaken, I forget what the speed of sound is. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna look that up.
It's like 750 miles an hour.
Let's see. Speed
at sea level
of sound. Let's see here. Speed of sound. The speed of sound is how fast vibrations travel. The speed of sound.
Yeah, the speed of sound.
So the speed of sound in air is about 343 meters per second, which equates to 767 miles per hour. Now
that was pretty close.
Yeah, pretty close indeed. So the fact is, if you take that math of 767 as far as miles per hour go, that means Brittany was doing half the speed of sound
in less than a quarter mile track.
1/8 mile.
Oh, close enough, doesn't matter. Here she's hauling ass.
True, very true. But half the speed of sound in an 1/8 mile, when any of those cars that are out in the desert doing those speed of sound runs, it usually takes them about, give or take, I think it's close to a half mile before they're fully up to speed where they need to be. So the fact that she's doing it in literally a quarter of the distance says a lot about the power of these Top Fuel cars.
Damn right, buddy. Things fly.
That they do. And speaking of flying, we got to fly on out of here. It's time to go take a nap and do all the fun things for the week here. And speaking of naps, you got to go over and visit mypillow.com/BRR and use the promo code BRR at checkout to get your entire order delivered for free, and they have the biggest sale ever going on right now, folks. Make sure you go over and get your My Pillows, your My Slippers, your My Chamois, your My Towels, whatever the case you might need. MyPillow.com/BRR, and use that promo code BRR at checkout to get that order delivered for free. And with that said here, we're going to go take a nap. Actually, Andy's going to go take a nap. I got to go to work. So with that being the case here, folks, we'll see you on Friday for the Gas and Go. But until then, burning rubber, baby.
Burning rubber, baby.